You have two systems of equations that are shown below. Here is the first one, and here is the second one. You have four different things that you have to find once you solve those system of equations. A is find, with an I, find the solution of the first system. B is find the solution of the second system. Should be two very easy things. And then C, find the midpoint between A and B, between those two solutions. And D, find the distance between A and B, those two solutions. So to start with, you're going to have to solve the first system of equations. This isn't anything new. We've solved systems of equations in the 9th grade. And we've also done them up to 3x3s here in the 11th grade. So we'll run through these quickly. If you have to solve this first one, you may want to change these items out here to 20s, positive or negative. Multiply the top one by 4 to get negative 20x minus 36y equals, and 116 times 4 would be 464. And on the bottom, you can just multiply that one by 5 to get 20x minus 10y equals negative 50. And since the signs are opposite on the x's, you just add them together. They cancel out. Negative 36y minus or plus a negative 10y is negative 46y. And then we have 464 minus 50, which is 414. To come up with the solution for y, you would have to divide 414 by a negative 46, and that comes out to be negative 9. So once you have that, plug that negative 9 into one of your two original equations. I'm going to use the bottom one, 4x minus 2 times a negative 9 equals negative 10. And then we'll have 4x plus 18 equals negative 10. Move the 18 to the right, change the sign, and you come up with a negative 28. Divide by 4 to get a negative 7. So there's your solution to question A, the solution to the first system of equations, negative 7, negative 9. Alright, then you're on to the second system of equations. That's question B. You have to solve that, and to find the solution for the second system, take a look at those numbers out there on the left. You have a negative 10 and a negative 8. What is the lowest number that I can create from 10 and 8? Yeah, it'd be 40. So I'm going to multiply the top by what number?
4.
Yeah, by 4. So I'll come up with negative 40x plus 32y equals 280. What am I going to multiply the bottom one by? 5. So a negative 40x plus 30y equals 5 times 56, 280. Alright. Now you have these two. Negative 40x and negative 40x, they're the same thing, so we have to subtract. That means they're gone. So 32y minus 30y is 2y, and then 280 minus 280 is 0. So this one's pretty simple. The answer is 0. And then you just go back to your original equation, one of those two original ones. I think I'm going to use this. If I use that and put a 0 in for y, I just have negative 8x equals 56, because putting a 0 there cancels out to just 0. And of course, if you divide there, you get a negative 7. So negative 7, 0 is our solution here. We've answered 2 of those questions. Now we have to go to C and D. And of course, to get C and D right, you have to get A and B right. If you miss A or B, one or both, then it's pretty much over with at that point. But if you made it that far, then you have to find the midpoint of A and B. So let's try to create a more clean workspace down here. And I'll do negative 7, negative 9, and then negative 7, 0. And to find the midpoint of these two items, I have to use this formula. x1 plus x2 over 2, and then y1 plus y2 over 2. So add the x's together, negative 7 plus negative 7, divide by 2, and then the y's, negative 9 plus 0 over 2. And for the x value, you come up with 0 over 2. For the y, it's negative 9 over 2. So we have 0, negative 4.5. And that is the midpoint between the two solutions of those systems. And that was answer C. So now we have to find answer D as in dog, and that one is the distance. Of course, you have to know the distance formula to do this, and the distance formula is the square root of the quantity squared of x2 minus x1, and then add that with the quantity squared of y2 minus y1. It makes no difference which point you make 1 or 2. You can reverse them, as long as you're consistent through the formula. So filling in the numbers, x2 is negative 7 and x1 is negative 7. So we subtract those and square, and then y2 is 0, and we're taking away a negative 9. Square that. So negative 7 minus a negative 7 is just going to be 0 even when you square it. And then 0 minus a negative 9 is 9. And when you square that, you come up with 81. Of course, 0 plus 80 or 81 is 81. And then you have the square root of that, which is 9. And that's answer D, as in dog.